Hello, less lethal people, and good morning. So, I want to make this video more for an educational and an awareness on the importance of bore matching or sizing the projectiles to your bore for the most amount of joules and power that you can get from it. So I know there's a lot of guys, and there's so much controversy on the internet right now with the new Projectiles 68 and the Mercury Rise Intrabuster. And some people are out there saying they think that the Mercury Rise Intrabuster was made more powerful, and the Projectile X68 might have had something done to it to make it less powerful, a few joules. First of all, these two markers, regardless Projectile or Mercury Rise, they're both the same launcher. The only possible difference is this is where your air chamber is on it. Maybe this is backed out a little bit more, adding a little more volume, maybe not. I'm not playing with mine. I'm very happy with the power. I'm getting 50 joules, that's fine. But even if I was getting 40 joules, it's still, it's fine. Don't complain, all right? So I think when a lot of people are getting mixed joules, you got to first of all take into consideration temperature, altitude. CO2 is wacky. Some of the CO2 companies could be a little bit different too. Now we're in a time of year where it's cold in one place, a little warmer in another place. Somebody has it on their side and the CO2 is heated up. There are variable factors, but the biggest factor is, are you using the proper ball or projectile for your launcher? And you can, somebody like me can be getting 50 joules with a Grimberg Joule V3, and somebody who's using a home wrecker 4.6 gram can be getting 42 joules. And I will explain to you that is because the size of the projectile is different. And when the size of the projectile is smaller, more air goes around the ball, so it's escaping down the barrel. If the projectile is too tight of a fit to your barrel, you're gonna have ball drag, and you don't have to be 70 to have your balls drag. You could just have too big of balls for a smaller barrel, and then it's gonna drag along the inside, causing it to slow down. So too big is no good, too small is no good. And each batch of projectiles has different size projectiles in it. Some could be off a little than the other. Not everyone is actually perfect. You can have one that's slightly smaller. So that's why it's important. If you're using it for practice, it doesn't matter. You could throw in any size. You're using it to aim, and you're using it for target practice, target acquisition, so on. But if you're using it for self-defense, the 6 that you load in your magazine or extra ones, you should take the time out and bore match each one or test them in a gauge. And this is, according to all the experts, the best gauge you can get. And I'm grateful to DK Spencer. I will do another video. He sent me a little box of gifts, and in that box of gifts, he was kind enough to give me one of these hard to get, really good bore gauges or ball measurers. So we're gonna do that right now. This test is gonna be on the barrel of the Mercury Rise / Projectile 68, because it's the same barrel. I'm 100% sure of that. What I will show you is, this is a home wrecker, the 4.6 gram home wrecker a lot of people are using. On the dial, let's see, it fits through there. Okay, so this one is with the tight fit. Let's try to focus it here. 0.682, and it's snug. I have to push it through. 684, it falls through right to the floor. Okay, so it's a 6.82, 6.84. I think 6.84 is a little bit big, but it falls right through very easily. 6.82, I'm sorry, yeah, 6.82, it goes through with a little bit of drag. So we're gonna mark that down. For the home wrecker, it's 6.82, 0.682 rather, 0.682. So comparing that to a Joule, now I think you're gonna be surprised too with something. This is a Joule V3. This is an older Joule V3. I bought this like maybe 6, 7 months ago, maybe more. This one here will not fit through a 682. It's too tight. It will not fit through a 684. It's still tight. I have to really push it through. It is closer to a 687. Okay, so this is a 687. It's 2 sizes larger than the home wrecker. So this is the older Joule V3, and it's a 687. This is a newer, I believe, Joule V3, and that is also a 687, and it's even a little snugger in here. Okay, it could even go up one more. One more will be too much. I could see air through there, but 687. So it's the same size. So the Joule V3, the new one and the older one are 687. Now, let's show you the intrabuster barrel. Let's screw it out. And we put the Joule V3, it rolls down very slow. Okay? I take the, oh, that's the wrong one. I take the, here it is, yes. I take the home wrecker, ooh, falls right out. So the home wrecker does not slide down nearly as good. It's 2 sizes, too small. I have to try to not let it fall out the front. I would like some air to get in there so that you could see. It's very hard to do on camera, but it is so small. So this is why people are getting 42 joules with the home, or 46 joules. They're getting a lot less joules with these home wrecker 4.6 gram balls, because there's too much air is escaping around them. So it's not that it's a bad round or anything. It's just this barrel is a little bit too big, or this ball is a little bit too small for your intrabuster. If you want to get better joules, you're going to need to bore match it, and you're going to have to take each specific one for self-defense, and you're going to have to get a good ball measurer like this, or a good gauge, and you're going to have to do each specific one. For practice, it doesn't matter. Now we're going to move on. The next one, Salt Supply S2. This is actually a tight fit. Look at that. However, it's not too tight. I can roll it down here pretty easily, and without any real pressure, just slide it right out the front with the pen. So I'm thinking this will probably, because there is not really any drag. You see, I was able to drop it and fall through on an angle. That is actually a little bit larger. So I will get that. Of course, it goes all over the place. And we're going to measure this one now. So now, the Grimberg Joule so far is the largest, 687. Salt Supply S2, which is much lighter, is also 687. It's just a little bit snugger than 687. It moves through here, but it's also a 687. It will not fit through a 684. It's way too small for a 684. But 687, so it's almost the same size as the Grimberg Joule, just a little bit bigger. And it rubs a little going through the 687. So Salt Supply is also a 687. Let's mark that down. 687. So we have that. Now, next one. T4E rubber balls. These, I think, would probably be the worst to use, even though they seem decent size. Let's see what they are. These are not. So 682, they rub through 682. So these are smaller. These are the same size as your home wreckers. So they're the same size, 682. So these are too small. And what happens is with the rubber ones, you have ball drag, obviously, because it's rubber. It rubs down the barrel of the launcher. Next, Alien Play aluminum balls. These are and this is, even when I first got this launcher, I got 2 or 3 joules less with the Alien Play than I did with the Grimberg Joule. And here is why. The Grimberg Joule is 687. This one here is 684. 684. Might even go through a 682. I'm at a 682. So it's too small. 680 is tight. 680, 682. I did get less joules with this Alien Play. So Alien Play is 680, between 680 and 682. Alien Play. So Alien Play aluminum balls are not a good choice for the Intrabuster or the Pistel X68. So if you're asking, it will work, but it's not your best choice. So let's put Alien Play. Alien Play is 680 or to 682. So far, these are your same size. These are actually a little smaller. You're probably better off using the home wreckers than the Alien Play because they have a better bore match to them. Okay. Last but not, well, no, I have a few more. Next one is the new burner. When I say the new burner, it has the little mark on it because I have an old burner here from back in the HD days when they first came out and they didn't have the little mark on it. Let's see if they're the same size. So the burner kinetics. Burner kinetics are 687. Same size as your Grimberg and same size as your salt supply. Okay, the new burners are 687. So these are the same exact size, 687. The old burner. Wow, the old burner is really small. The old burner is 680. So the old burner, if you have the old burner rounds, they're no good. They're 680. I just happen to have a couple of these lying around. So these would not be a good one. The new burner is, here's the new one. Let's get that down the barrel. That fits the same as the salt supply. So, which leads me to believe, I'm thinking Duke might make these also for burner. It's the same exact size. It's a little snug in here. Not enough to give you ball drag, but a little bit snug where I can just push it through gently. It'll still fall if I wiggle it. So the new burner, that's a decent sized kinetic. All right. Next, 9.9 gram riot ball. Let's see what size that is. That fits right in a 680. So that is a little small. It just has good weight, but that is 680. Maybe it's a little snug in there. Maybe a 682. It's between 680 and 682. All right, right ball. So that's a little bit loose. Now, the last two on my list, which I'm really interested to check, are my 2 chemical rounds by Duke. I have a strong feeling, and that is going to be my next video. I am going to do a video with the 2 chemical balls, the S2, and the burner kinetic, the new burner kinetic with the little orange burner logo on it. And we'll also do the riot ball. Okay, that'll be my out. So these will be my 5 shots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 shots. All right, we're gonna do burner kinetic, the new one, the salt supply S2, a riot ball, and 2 Duke chemicals. The Duke chemicals actually are really nice in size. I measured these the other day, I believe, and they are a 684 is a little snug. They're closer to a 687. So they're between a 684 and a 687. So slightly smaller than the Joule, not really much smaller, but slightly smaller. And I think that's good because that would prevent them from breaking in the barrel as well. The Duke, now that was the Duke OC. Now I'm doing a Duke Extreme. Look at this. A Duke Extreme is much bigger. The Duke Extreme fits through a 690. It does not make it through 6.8. It's too snug in here. So let's put the Duke Extreme. It's actually a little bit snug there. It's actually too snug. This you would probably get ball drag in, and I don't think I would recommend shooting this from here because it's a little bit too tight, but we're gonna try it. It will go through. We'll shoot it as the last round, I think, when we do it. So this is 690. That's actually the largest. So the Duke OC is 687. The Duke Extreme is 690. So based on this, I know it's not the most interesting video, but we have to know the sizes. So the OC is the larger one at 690 and 687 is the OC one. So we're gonna put our barrel back in our launcher. Next, I do know using aluminum balls, which we know we're not gonna use this because this is probably was the smallest one, I think. The Alien Play was the smallest ball, but aluminum against aluminum in there is not the best. You know, once or twice if you want to use it for self-defense, yes, but for practicing every day, it's gonna, over time, damage the barrel or mess up the barrel. So I would go with the softer, you know, coating, like a PVC coating. So if you guys are out there wondering why your Intrabuster / Pistel 68 is getting different numbers, one of the big reasons could be you're not using the proper projectile that's matched to the bore of your weapon. And from my measurements, Joule V3s, Duke Extremes, or they're a little, I think they're going to be a little tight. The Duke OC might be better. Your burner kinetics, they're probably a decent match. And I think, and the salt supply. So salt supply, burner, and Joules. Out of all of those, why would I choose the Joules? I would choose the Joules because they are a heavier round. And we know from science, it does not matter. A heavier round going through the air takes more kinetic energy to stop than a lighter round. And if I do the test against the metal pan, which DK has done numerous times, the heavier one will, and they're the same size, the heavier one will cause a bigger dent or more damage because it takes more kinetic energy to stop it. When you're using a smaller ball, that is not really a fair test because now air is escaping around that ball. You have to use two projectiles that are the same exact size. Then use a light one, then use a heavy one. When you use ones that are the same exact size and fit in the barrel the same exact way and you're not losing air, you can do the test. The heavier one, and I taught science for many years, the heavier one will do more damage than the lighter one. Plain and simple. So, guys, that is how it is broken down in a nutshell. If you're wondering and you have these new launchers, don't go crazy. Just get yourself the right projectile for it. Granted, both of these will work, they will hurt, but yes, the Joule V3 will do more damage and be a better choice. And if they're expensive, just buy 25 of them and use them for self-defense and use everything else to practice with. That's, the smart thing to do. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope that clears it up. If you have any questions, ask them down and below. The next two videos, I want to show you some of the really cool things DK sent me. And I would like to also show you how many joules we get when we shoot a pepper round or an OC round and a burner and a salt supply S2. Anyway, guys, have a great day. Stay safe, stay smart, educate yourself.